Okay, I have a DIY hack, I guess, that I want to show y'all. But the first thing I want you to do is everybody go out into your garages or any place like that. I do a lot of painting at my house. I do a lot of painting for other people. And in my garage, I had a bag of 3 N95 respirator masks. And so these are what the hospitals are desperately looking for. So if you have anything like that, 95, gather them together and put them in a stack and get a hold of your local hospitals and see if they need them. I also hate when I do sanding, and so I buy these coveralls, and these coveralls they're also having to use now that they got rid of the liability problem. And so doctors are kind of in desperate need of these whenever they intubate someone. So if you have anything like this, put it together and get a hold of your local hospital and get them to them right away. I know that we're all scared because we're afraid we might come in contact with someone who's sick. But doctors and nurses and physicians' assistants and the janitors and everybody else at the hospital are definitely in contact with people who are sick. And every time we lose one of them, we are losing years and years of knowledge. And besides, they are trying to save us all. So please do that. However, see the booties here? You can still buy booties, and I'm good with the booties going to us. So here's a booty, and you'll notice that it's 2-ply, right? Because you put your foot in there, so there's 2 sides to it. However, we're going to leave it 2-ply. And the first thing I want you to do is just cut this little area off around the top, okay? And leave about 1/2 of an inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch, doesn't really matter. And again, this is something that you can do in a hurry, which is kind of nice. Okay, also a bag of booties comes with 12. So that means that there's 24 of these in each bag, all right? So we're gonna set this aside. Now we're just gonna take this, we're gonna, basically fold it in half. Now notice that on this side, this is kind of a hemmed edge. You can see the little pieces of it right there. So make sure that they're together because that'll save you some stuff in a minute. All right. And it doesn't have to be perfectly square, but you can approximate, right? And be careful, don't poke anything. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing it this way is because some of the stuff I've seen is sewing, and if you sew anything, you're basically puncturing the fabric that you're using, and that's kind of like puncturing a condom. It kind of loses the efficacy. These booties, even though they're for dust, I have seen that one of the tests to check your weave is by pouring water on it. Now, you notice the water doesn't soak in right away. And the reason that is because the weave is so tight that the water isn't going in right away. And that's good because with cloth, especially like regular cloth, it's going to go in right away. It will eventually go in, but you have 2 layers of this. All right, so once you get this done, notice that you have one side that's together, you have this other side that is together, and you have these 2 that are open. Instead of sewing, we're going to use fire. So if you just take a lighter and you barely come across here and then go back and pinch it, don't catch it on fire, but you'll see it start to curl. It's not like rayon or nylon. It doesn't stick on your fingers and burn afterwards. It's not very hot. And I'm not sure, because I do not have one, whether an iron would work or one of those seal-a-meal things where you have, the hot iron that you kind of glue the two pieces together. That might work too. But this is a quick fix. It takes 2 seconds. Sorry, cat. All right, now notice just by doing that quickly, and again, you can be much more into it. I have seamed that whole line, right? And it's pretty tight. So I'm going to do this next one real fast. So I have one square sheet. Because again, I want more than just one layer of this stuff. I want 2 layers to be extra safe. And most of the air is going to come through the middle. It's not going to sweep through the couple of little bitty seams that are holes in the seam that I have. And again, if I wanted to be super careful, I would go through this a little bit slower, make sure that I got it all. And again, maybe an iron might actually work well and would do the whole thing and would not leave any. Now, again, that's pretty much made myself a nice little pocket. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is go back to this thing. Now, there is some elastic in there, and you might want to keep the elastic where you could probably take like a safety pin or something to keep it up there. But the truth is, you don't even need the elastic. And you might want to use it for something else because, again, elastic's kind of rough these days. All right, so I'm going to take it in 2 pieces here. And cut another one. Sorry. There we go. I'm going to cut another one. About here. Sorry, not very good at cutting. Okay, so even though the elastic got lost in there, I still have the elasticity of this thing. And again, you could cut it down so it's not quite so big. But the next thing I want to do, I'm going to leave this hemmed part right here because I know that's a good tight seal. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to put it up, match it at the very top. And I'm going to press it in place. Okay, I'm going to take the other piece, take it to the other side, do the same thing. Charlie, that's enough. Actually, I probably should have put that on the unseamed places now that I'm thinking about it a little more clearly. But I have one there. I'll take this other one. It still has the elastic in there. Let's see. I'm going to put it in real quick. Seam it. All right. Same thing at the bottom. Okay, I have my basic square shape, and I know you're going to be like, man, that'd be ugly, but I'm going to show you how to fix it in a minute. The first thing I want you to do, though, is get some tin foil. And again, you kind of want it fairly long there. So I'm going to cut it like this. And you want to be able to fold it probably at least, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times. I'm not 100% sure. And you want it long enough so that you can fold it in about 1 inch. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it about here. Fold it about there again. Fold it there again. Fold it there again. And fold it there again. Okay. So now I have this. The next thing I'm going to do is take it up here and I'm going to pinch it over the top like that. And I'm going to do it as tight as I can with a seam. Then I'm going to take some electrical tape or whatever kind of tape, and I'm going to pin it. Okay, so, oops, there we go. All right, so I'm going to take a piece about, maybe an inch long, and get another one while I'm at it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to pinch it over with a little bit at the top, just to give it a little extra so it stays there. All right, little tag. Oops, make sure it's up here to the top, and that'll also keep it from sliding up. Okay, now I'm going to pinch it. Okay, now, I know it's ugly, but I'm going to show you how to fit it. Just a second. Okay, so without my glasses, I'm going to put this over my ears, and I'm going to bring this down to my nose, and I'm going to pinch it like this. Okay, the first thing you're going to say is, man, there's a lot of gaps there. And you're right. So, the first thing I'm going to do is find some tape, and I'm going to pleat it. So remember, you want a tight fit from your chin so that you don't have any air coming in. And so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to pleat it there. Right? So I'm going to take a piece of tape, I'm going to stick it under there. Yeehaw. Sorry, bad pleat, but you get the idea. I'm going to pleat it. Okay, these are a little long. So one of the things I'm going to have to do is shorten this, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. You can also see there's going to be another pleat that I can either go up or down, because again, what I want is a tight fit. Once the ears are a little tighter, this mask will become a little bit fit too. So if you notice, I got a lot of bed here. So the best thing to do is to take it off and not tape your face. Take the pleat. There we go. Try a little bit better while it's off. Okay, so instead of having to mess with both of these, I'm just going to cut the middle, right? And I'm going to say, okay, I think I need probably an inch off, right? And that may be wrong, but that's what I'm going to do anyway. And then I just grab the lighter and put them together, and I put them again, hem them real quick. Okay, and I think this other side was even longer. Oopsie. So I'm going to take about a little bit over an inch off that one. Now again, I probably got it way too short now, but that's all right. All right, so take that. I don't know whether this is pleating or hemming. I don't know. We had to take home ec when I was in junior high. I don't remember liking it very much. All right, we had to make a purse and a dress. Okay, yes, okay, a little bit tighter. Awesome. Okay, and remember, that's without elastic. If you use the elastic and keep it in there, it will get a little tighter. The one thing about the tinfoil is whenever you're out and about, your skin is not super happy with the tinfoil on it, so it starts to sweat. And the little more droplets you get on there, actually the tighter the seal becomes. All right, so we have this one, and again, I would pleat this one down here, like, let's see, again, thusly. Pull it away just for a second. That inside. Awesome. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a pleat. I'm going to pull it up. Make it tight. A little bit more to the corner. Probably duct tape might also be a good substitute for electrical tape. Probably just depends on your skin and what you can handle. Okay, good. Now, if you can see my jawline really well because it's actually resting pretty firmly there. The one thing I do need to do is maybe pleat this down tight a little bit. And I can do that by taking one more and just pleating there. Now, again, this is not the most beautiful at this moment, and I promise if you're sitting down and not doing it on the fly, you can make a much better one. But right now, I'm getting my oxygen coming through 2 separate filters, and I feel fairly comfortable. And as long as I follow the 6 feet rule, because the stuff is water droplets and tends to fall away in 6 feet, then I'm going to be pretty safe. And that way, if I go somewhere and just happen to go through something, then I feel pretty good about it. And so I hope you do too. And I hope if you have any N95 stuff, you're going to take it to the hospital or to a doctor or to a nursing home near you. And again, the glasses also help keep it nice and tight. Well, peace, love, and vitality. I hope you all stay safe and well, and love y'all. I almost forgot. Be sure to mark the inside. Maybe put an eye or something with a pen so that you know which side you've had toward your face. What I do is when I've gone in somewhere, then when I'm done, I'll go through and throw this on my dashboard and let the good old New Mexico sun do its business and make sure that I try not to touch this side out here and transfer it onto my fingers. So again, y'all be safe and see you soon.